Welcome to my channel. Please enjoy the video.
What is going on, my tea sippers? I am back with another video. Well, it seems at this particular time, tea sippers, the pot of tea has boiled over. And guys, I've actually been sitting back waiting for two particular people to actually mention Boosie's name out of their mouth. And it seems that these two individuals actually set the pretty ass lie over and gave us the ugly ass truth. Well, actually, guys, I'm gonna throw this in. Just a couple of weeks ago, Boosie's so-called call for the boycott of the Netflix story Jeffrey Dahmer. And Boosie's reason for boycotting Jeffrey Dahmer, he said it was due to racism. Now, I want you guys to hold that in your cups for just a second. Now, according to sources, Boosie Badass said that black people should take a stand to ban the Netflix's Jeffrey Dahmer story. Boosie also goes on to say that the Jeffrey Dahmer story needs to be banned from the face of the earth and all of the victims' families should be paid restitution. Boosie Badass then goes on to say that many of Dahmer's victims were both black and homosexual, and the Louisiana rapper wants African Americans to unify and get the show booted from Netflix. Now get this, guys, Boosie didn't menace his feelings actually on the series itself. He just repeatedly started calling the show sick throughout his spew that he's supposed to have. Now, I want you guys to understand something. Just on September the 4th, Boosie took a picture with Duke the Jeweler. He actually invited this man to his house, and this man never made it back to Chicago, alive or safe. Now, stay with me, tea sippers, guys, because we have a lot to actually unpack right now. Now, just after Duke the Jeweler's death at Lil Boosie's concert, we have not even seen Lil Boosie come out and give condolences to Duke's family, nor made a memorial or paid any respect to Duke the Jeweler in any type of way. Now, it seems after Lil Boosie's interview on Vlad TV, he gave Vlad his statement and then went on to other topics such as Jeffrey Dahmer. And guys, this is nothing more than a tactic. See, I told you guys that Boosie has a pattern, and Boosie is a criminal himself. How dare he even speak on Jeffrey Dahmer, all of the black men, over 6 bodies allegedly, that he has on his hands. Now, I believe this was a tactic from Lil Boosie to actually take the heat off of himself and have people to see him in a different light and kind of drag himself out of what happened to Duke the Jeweler. That's just my opinion. See, actually, in reality, guys, we must understand, Boosie doesn't give a damn about those men being black. What bothers Lil Boosie about the series is because those men were homosexuals, and we know, if you guys have watched my Lil Boosie videos, how he feels about gay black men. How he described and broke down every detail of guys having sex in prison, and he supposedly walked in on them. However, Boosie went on to state that it was actually sick what he witnessed these guys doing in prison, but he remembered every detail and told people in his interviews that interviewed him. Now, when Duke the Jeweler's murder first broke the internet, actually people were stating that DJ academics Hudson and Charleston White were such cowards not to even utter one word of Boosie's name out of their mouth. Well, tea sippers, the pot is boiling over, and let me pour this tea with you. See, Charleston White and Hudson Campbell were waiting on the actual right time to approach the situation. And however, this is just my opinion. See, both of them in their own time actually was waiting on the right time to fold Boosie's ass. So Hudson Campbell, while on his channel speaking about the topic about Jeffrey Dahmer and Boosie, he actually folded Boosie's ass. Hudson Campbell goes on to say, Boosie, go and sit your worthless ass down. Go sit your illiterate ass down. Hudson actually made a reference, and he said that every person in America, white and black, need to take their children to examine the mind of a serial killer. See, the point that Lil Boosie was making, he tried to make it out to the public that he was talking about banning it because it was black men involved. He really didn't give a shit. He's only concerned that they were gay, and that's what made the show sick. Not only that, we know Lil Boosie is illiterate, and just like Hudson Campbell said, he does need to sit his slow ass down, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Not only were there black men killed by Jeffrey Dahmer, there were actually Caucasian men and one Oriental man killed by Jeffrey Dahmer. And this is why I'm saying that Lil Boosie is slow. He actually tried to look and grip that it was just black gay men involved, but like I told you guys, it wasn't the fact that they were black, it was the fact that they were gay. And he's so fucking stupid how he only pointed out about the black men and just disregarded the white victims as well. And not only that, the Oriental young man that that was also killed. He was actually a kid. And I totally agree with Hassan Campbell, guys. You know why? Because how dare a serial killer touch another serial killer's story? And that's right, T-Sippers, you guys heard me correct. Not only has Boosie been alleged a serial killer himself, having people to kill people and paying people off, he actually wrote about murdering people in his lyrics. And he did not write in his lyrics or none of his rap songs about wanting to kill anybody. He actually told the story of how he killed people. And listeners' warning at this point is advised. If you don't like the video and you're a Boosie fan or a dick rider of Boosie, I suggest you click off this video right now because shit's about to get a lot more ugly. Now, T-Sippers, let's go a little bit deeper. See, Boosie calls himself a heterosexual. Jeffrey Dahmer was a homosexual. So Lil Boosie is stating that it's okay for heterosexual men to actually murder other men, but it's not okay and it's actually sick for a homosexual man to murder homosexual men. And this is what Boosie is trying to say. It's like calling the kettle pot black when his ass is just as black as the pot. And I mean literally. Like Hassan Campbell went on to furtherly fold Boosie's ass. He said there's a difference between a hood serial killer and another type of serial killer. And Hassan Campbell, I'm gonna hit you with this point. I actually disagree. A serial killer is a serial killer, no matter what your age is or what your race is. And it definitely has nothing to do with one's sexual orientation, or if you live in a blue-collar neighborhood, or if you come from the hood. What I'm trying to get Hassan Campbell to understand, and he probably did fold Boosie's ass, there is no difference in being from the hood or being from white collar. A serial killer is a serial killer, but I understand Hassan Campbell's point that he was trying to make, because how dare Boosie's ass say anything about Jeffrey Dahmer when he's just as worse. Only he killed heterosexual guys and Jeffrey Dahmer killed homosexual guys. To take a life is wrong all in itself. But if you guys have not noticed, after Boosie killed Duke the Jeweler, or had him killed and set up for money and jewelry, he was the only celebrity rapper to even speak about Jeffrey Dahmer being banned. And allegedly, guys, he has been on death row and has at least 9 bodies to his name himself, allegedly. Now, T-Sipper, stay with me, because I told you guys in the very beginning that I believed, come and fucking sue me, Boosie, I don't give a damn. This is my opinion and everything adds up. And my belief is that Lil Boosie is the one responsible for his baby mother's brother's death. If you guys were to go and listen to the lyrics, it adds up to everything that actually occurred. Now, if you guys are really paying attention to what's going on the internet, actually these drill rappers from Chicago actually speak about their murders and all of the crimes they committed in their lyrics. And they're actually making money off telling the stories on how they took people out and killed people. And most of these rappers are, in fact, such as King Von, I'm sorry to say, but not sorry, they are and were serial killers themselves. Well, how is Lil Boosie's case so different? Guys, I want you to understand that Lil Boosie was not on death row for nothing. See, Marlo Mike Loudon actually took the bait for Boosie, and now he's serving a life sentence. He was itching for a body, and Boosie explained this in his rap lyrics. So if Lil Boosie was not involved, and Mike Marlo Loudon was actually itching for a body, and he actually caught a couple of bodies for Boosie, how does it all tie back to Boosie? That's because Boosie actually raised this boy from a young boy to actually being a serial killer himself. And the reason there was no DNA evidence or any witnesses is because Boosie paid the gunman to do his dirty work. And this is not my opinion. This is the goddamn truth. Like I told you guys, there's a lot to unpack, and I'm going to fill you in on information that you guys were not aware of. See, according to sources, Loudon actually killed Boyd in a cowardly manner. And as we all know, Lil Boosie himself actually has a pattern, because Duke the Driller was also murdered and killed in a very cowardly manner. And see, just this month, back in 2009, Lil Boosie paid Marlo Mike Loudon $2,800 to kill Boyd. And this was back in October of 2009. And see, what I want you guys to understand, that the details were actually too consistent and had too many details attached. How would Loudon come up with that amount of money? He said it was $2,800. I don't think he was lying, but actually what you guys fail to understand is that at the very beginning of the trial, Loudon said he was not going to turn on Boosie. He actually testified in the trial that he nor Boosie had any involvement in Boyd's death. See, Boosie actually had Loudon to actually shoot Boyd while Boyd sat at home watching TV on his couch. He actually had Loudon to shoot through the window, killing him instantly. So you mean to tell me that Lil Boosie's baby's mother's brother was killed by one of Boosie's associates and Boosie was not involved? And I'm trying to figure out how the prosecution nor the defense team did not add Boosie into this killing. Because what kind of gripe, personal gripe, would Loudon actually have with Boosie's baby's mother's brother without Boosie having any knowledge or actually not being involved, in which he was directly involved? Guys, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. Not only that, guys, Boosie actually paid Loudon to kill a local and upcoming rapper named Chris Newsy Jackson, and this was back on February 9th of 2009. Boosie also had him to kill Marcus Gangster Thomas back in April 25th of 2009, and then had him to kill Charles Nuki Matthews and then Daryl Bleak Milton back in April of 2010. So count those body counts up right now. And there are many more unaccounted for. Yes, Boosie himself then went on to have Loudon charged with killing Michael Smith back on December 18th of 2019. In CT Zippers, Loudon was just 16 at the time when he killed Jackson and Thomas. And how old is Boosie's so-called nephew or its cousin? He's actually 19 years old. Does this sound like a pattern or what? And according to my sources, he actually wanted Duke dead just a month before he was killed. And according to deep sources, see, Loudon actually had a tattoo on his chest and it reads, "Yo Boosie, who's next?" with a question mark. See, Loudon actually wanted to fit in with Boosie's crew and he had to do what Boosie wanted him to do. So take a look at Boosie's nephew. Actually, guys, we need to be investigating. Is this really his nephew? Is this really his cousin? Where did he meet him? Where is his parents? And the question is, guys, why does Boosie have underage guys that's not 21 hanging in his crew? Boosie does not have any older friends? Why is he steady recruiting and having young guys around him to do his dirty work? This all goes back to Loudon. Boosie is going to get his karma. I want you guys to mark my words. Because once again, Boosie is repeating his pattern. And everyone can see it. If you can't see it, you will see it after watching this video. And not only that, guys, don't just take my word for it. I've done a lot of investigation and I have a lot more commentary on this topic and also the murders that Boosie had this young man to do. And we all know Little Boosie likes to run his chatterbox. If you guys didn't listen to the interview he did with Vlad TV, Vlad TV actually asked Boosie about Charleston White. And Little Boosie, as we all know, he likes to talk. He actually said it out of his mouth that Charleston White is very dangerous. And once again, to all my Boosie fans and dick riders, if you were watching, I'm about to fold his ass. Because remember, Boosie says that he's a boss. But when asked about the true boss, Charleston White, this was Boosie's response to Vlad TV.
I'm not gonna say nothing about Charleston White, you know, my auntie and my uncle. They done begged me not to say nothing about that boy. You know, they said that maybe that boy gonna send you to prison, you know, so I don't even want to comment on that dude, you know. He dangerous. I don't want to comment on dude. There you go.
So, T-Sippers, the fact that Boosie's boss ass says that his own aunt and uncle told him he's going to send you to prison, don't respond to anything that he says. This is actually a statement, and this is an omittance that Boosie's family actually knows about all the killings he's done. They actually know that Little Boosie was behind all of these 9 bodies that Loudon had. This is proof. This is beyond proof, guys, and common sense that Boosie actually paid Loudon to kill all of these men. Now remember, the second name that I named, he actually came out and confirmed everything I researched and put together. Guys, I actually had to meditate over this because I actually feel that this baby's mother's brother, Terry Boyd, was actually killed for seeing Boosie doing something he had no business doing. And this is according to a private source. See, a little birdie on the Kirby done told me. See, Charleston White really used to get down with Boosie, but Charleston White heard some very dark, deep secrets about Boosie. Not only being a serial killer, but some other shit in the mix. And now Charleston White has nothing to lose. He actually is speaking out and exposing Boosie, and this just furtherly adds credence to my allegations and also my thoughts and also the facts that I pointed out with my very own eyes due to my professional research. However, guys, Charleston White is not going to give it all the way. And remember, all of the things that I exposed about Tootsie Raw, Boosie's son, Charleston White gave us just the tip of the iceberg. I want you guys to listen closely because this is nothing but facts. And in a way, Charleston White really wants to expose T.I. as well, not only just Boosie, because T.I. also allegedly has bodies as well. Charleston White does expose Boosie, but he also exposes Tootsie Raw, and Tootsie Raw actually fell for the bait. Stay tuned for part 2. I love you guys. Please watch, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video on your social media platform. And once again, don't forget to hit the like button. I will be back with the part 2. And I like to give respect where respect is due. And shout out to Charleston White. I'm using a mini clip of your commentary for my commentary purposes only.
What was I saying about Tootie? Yeah, they must report the video because the video froze. I don't know what happened. They sent out being cruel and unusual to kids, the illiterate kids that can't read. Why would he say such? Them niggas going to jail. Nobody give a damn about them young niggas going to jail. Fuck you talking about? Who give a fuck about a dumb, stupid kid going to jail? Nobody. The judge damn sure don't. The arresting officer damn sure don't. So why should I give a fuck about them two little boys? They going to jail. Their daddies done been to jail. Their mamas done been to jail. All kind of shit. Man, my mama ain't never been to jail. And I don't know my daddy ain't never been to jail. My daddy was a military man. Yeah. Yeah. And don't forget, nigga. This is what I want to tell you, Tootie. Your daddy used a 15-year-old little boy. He got him when he was about 13. Everybody knows the story between Boosie, Boo, nigga, and Lil Marlo Mike. What your daddy say, nigga? Lil Marlo Mike in the back itching for a body. Your daddy had a kid and turned him into a serial killer and was getting a little bit amount of money to kill on behalf of your daddy. This little boy killed about 5 or 6 people for your daddy, man, and he was a kid. Your daddy free, and this little boy doing life without parole from the age of 16 for killing for your daddy, nigga. Don't you forget that. They didn't tell you the story about your daddy, how you had this little boy killing people. I think he killed somebody. Little Marlo Mike was a bad motherfucker. That's who we need a documentary on. King Von wasn't shit compared to Marlo Mike. Shit, y'all think King Von was something? Oh man, Marlo Mike was a motherfucker. And that was Lil Boosie's shooter. I'm talking about the prosecutor, but see, Lil Marlo Mike had agreed to testify against Boosie. This what happened. Lil Marlo Mike agreed to testify against Boosie. Boosie and them put the whoop down on Marlo Mike and his family. And Lil Marlo Mike backed out and said, I ain't gonna tell y'all. I ain't gonna tell. So Lil Marlo Mike took the chin, boom on the chin for Boosie. But Boosie had Lil Marlo Mike killing like a motherfucker. Don't forget, man. So your daddy got some dues to pay for all the lives he done had taken, man. You don't just, and so you got to suffer for your daddy's sins too, Tootie Raw. Yeah, y'all daddy them so dope in the neighborhood, and so y'all got to suffer from y'all daddy's sin. And y'all daddies is not trying to right them wrong. Your daddy ain't came out and apologized to now family. He done had family member, he done had whack. Your daddy was having niggas whack, nigga. Bow. And the feds really need to get your daddy, man, and put your daddy away for life and see how well he can hold up with that diabetes in jail. Yeah. See if that diabetes strong in jail.